Hi everyone, I'm going to get us an oracle reading for November 11th, 2025. So I'm using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle deck by John Holland today. I normally have a pretty hard time with this deck most of the time, so I'm kind of just challenging myself. Okay, that wanted to come out. Shine came out sideways. Interesting. So let's just get some cards and see if there's anything that... Whoops, okay, and this just fell out on my lap here. Love. Okay. Listen. Okay. Anything else? Let's see here. Darkest fears. Heart chakra. Take the lead. Interesting. I think I'm going to put that with shine. In reverse. Share the love. Interesting. So love upright and share the love in reverse. So maybe the part of love that isn't happening as much is like sharing the love. So maybe there's like some self-love here, but like if there's a desire for like a deeper union to a problem or just a situation, then maybe sharing the love is the part that's more of a hold up right now. It's not happening as much. Sadness and isolation. Yeah. So that's kind of like there's like a lack of connection or reciprocity, sharing. Believe and succeed. Choose your battles. And root chakra, base chakra in reverse. Interesting. Feeling unsteady, rest and reconsider. I'm pretty sure in this deck, the black ones like this are representing the major arcana, and then these other colored ones are minor arcana. Shine is sideways. There's a lot of this solar plexus energy, although that didn't come out. Okay, so this took a second to tune into, so sorry about the delay there. I was just having this realization too that with this deck, I do have a lot of trouble reading it normally. It doesn't make sense to me the way that it's conceived, like how it's structured, because I've read in the guidebook before. It just doesn't really resonate with me. And so as I was looking at these imagery, what was throwing me off really is the words of the cards, because when I'm actually tuning into what is the energy here that I'm trying to feel from this deck, I'm like, what I'm actually getting from this message is not what these words say. And I was realizing that if I tune into the images, then I'm actually getting just the images and just forget about the words. The words are nonsense. Then I'm getting more of the intuitive speaking to me. So like, what is the shared symbolism here, right? And so just looking at the images. So shine doesn't tell you much, but then when you look and see that the light is coming out, it's actually coming out of her heart. So that's related to the heart chakra. I noticed that. And then there's color symbolism. So there's a lot of color symbolism on here. So I noticed with this Choose Your Battles card, there's these two figures, and mostly these ones in the middle and on the right are the ones that jumped out at me. And so the person is like scared because they're not sure. They're almost wanting to like stop a project that I almost wonder if this is that business reading again. I'm just, even this deck is speaking about it. You got to be kidding me. And this person almost wants to like abandon a project because they haven't been listened to, and so like they are feeling isolated by that group, and so they're almost wanting to like give up. And so here it's like, well, if you're still wanting to share, because there is some energy here that possibly that could work, right? Like you take over, you shine, you believe and drive it forward. Then it's kind of like, well, how can you address the situation? So there's almost like this mental energy of like, what would be the best approach given that my friends and partners in this are not listening? And yeah, so they're sharing the love in reverses, right? Like they're not listening. And so the heart is continuing to just shine, 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 looking for that union, looking for listening. So this is almost like a decision. So I'm almost feeling like there's like a decision that has to be made here. So like, do you want to stop altogether with your efforts towards this project, or do you want to keep working on it? And so there's this like rest and reconsider card here too. And so I think that's asking you to take that time out to think about it. And so, and also with the darkest fears is your instinct or current desire, current kind of energy to give it up. Is that based on illusion, or is that and emotion only, or is that actually the right choice? And so like being able to have enough clarity to separate emotions from intuition, from reason, logic, and mental energy, so that you get all three separate. And then when you can look at that clearly, and then so like, am I making an emotional reaction because I'm scared or because I'm in pain or sad, versus even if that is true, because that I am scared, I am in pain, and I am sad, like, does that match the reality of the situation? So like, is there actually a possibility that this can work? So that's kind of what I'm feeling here, is like with this Choose Your Battles and Rest and Reconsider, the Share the Love in reverse and being isolated. It's like, does this actually have enough potential given the fact that there is a certain amount of resistance from the people that I'm trying to share the idea or love with? And so like, if they're just committed to not listening, then maybe I won't have the power to make them understand, because at the end of the day, they have the choice. And so it's almost like I'm feeling that kind of like, maybe this just isn't even a battle I want to take on, because it's not one that I think I can realistically win. And so maybe the question here too is like, is that actually the case? And if it is, the suggestion is to take some time to think about that and reflect, make sure it's not just like an emotional abandonment thing because you're scared, but there is potential, or make sure that there actually might just not be potential, and that the best thing might just be to move on. So here I'm feeling that one person who did get the idea from the last several days of reading, they are feeling frustrated and stuck because it looks like they tried to share the idea with the group and it hasn't been received. And so they're feeling very discouraged. So let me just see if I can pull a little bit more. Is there anything that wants to come through here? Okay, that just fell right out. And I'm going to just see if we can get a little confirmation. Okay. Okay, so let's start with this one. Reach out and share the, yeah, okay. And what is this whole group here? And what is it on top of? Share the love and isolation and success. So if you're isolated and success and shared love hasn't been working, right? Both in reverse. So reach out to end that isolation so you're not alone in this. So like, you know, do you think that there's a possibility that you can still get these people to listen to you? Or do you think that they're not going to listen? And then dreams coming true. So believe and succeed, dreams coming true. So there's this like illusion energy here because dreams coming true in reverse. And so it's like, is that real that the dream is not likely to come true, or is that just your mind? So like, what is the truth of the situation here? And I'm not sure. And I'm not sure the cards are offering a suggestion either. I think they're just reflecting the state of mind here. So it's like 50-50. Flow in reverse. Is this aligned? That's what I'm getting from that. And so that's the basic question here. Is it aligned to continue on this path? And then what is this? Helpless and hopeless. That's the energy I was picking up on. Like, is this possible or not? Like, is this have any chance of working, or is this doomed? And should I just move on because it's a waste of energy at this point? And then there's balance. So that rest and reconsider with the balance in reverse as well. So like maybe the emotions and energy are unbalanced here. So like your mental clarity versus your emotions versus your intuition are not in balance. And so there's like that dysregulated chaos, and it could be impacting decision making here. So this there is that suggestion to make sure that you're quiet and a little bit more regulated before you make decisions, because like when you're in that crazy space, you just can't think properly. And so just breathe. Yeah. So there's this regulation thing that it's asking you to like regulate before. Seek the truth in reverse. Yeah. So like right now, if you're dysregulated, all your thoughts are probably not going towards the truth, even though you're panicking, trying to think that you're going to arrive at the truth with your thinking. But in that panic space, all of those thoughts just end up being nonsense, because that's just how our psychology works when we're dysregulated. So seek the truth and just breathe. So it's like, in order to actually get this to become upright instead of reverse, in order to seek the real truth, you'll have to calm down first. And then what is this here? So spread your wings in reverse. And so once again, there's this energy of 50-50, like, should I stay or should I go? And but maybe there's okay, I'm picking up on something here with this spread your wings of, it's like, if I stay and I spread my wings, there is some way that internally I have a victory, even if the situation doesn't have the outcome that I want. And at the same time, if I spread my wings and go, there's a certain victory there in freedom. So I'm sensing that with a choice, if it's a binary choice, there is a possibility, depending on what you can do inside with your own consciousness, that you can be at peace with it and have a certain amount of victory and success for yourself, at least in your own spirit, regardless of whichever choice you make. So that's interesting. And so what are these last two cards here? So rebuild your self-trust. I don't know, that thought just came into my head. So like, if you can go either way with it, as long as you're able to like control your own internal spirit and your own reaction to the situation, then it doesn't matter which one you do. So you can try either way possibly. So like, rebuild that self-trust, and then like your own inner foundation is going to get you through whatever rocky boat this is. Rocky boat. It's like choo 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 choo. And coming together, see, because there's all of this energy of like love, share the love, this disjointed isolation card here. So coming together. But maybe that's even like union with yourself, right? So like, love yourself, because that was the part that felt like it was more present, was self-love, versus the group love was not as, it wasn't working as much because they're not listening almost. Or you're thinking that they won't listen to you, probably both. And so coming together, love them if you stay, love them if you go, and regardless, love yourself overall is maybe the most important. And well-deserved reward, I think, is almost like, you deserve to be at peace with whatever work you've done, and regardless of whichever choice you make, because there's been a lot of inner work here. It's been like a tough battle. So that victory in spirit, at the very least inside yourself, regardless of the decision made, is the well-deserved reward. So in a way, the reading is almost zooming out on the situation, and it's saying in a broader sense, the situation itself, regardless of the outcome, is neutral. So there's almost a lesson here of non-attachment. I'm feeling that there's an energy of letting go of control and not being attached to the circumstance. So where your own inner consciousness, if you're able to maintain peace, make good choices, be clear on your intuition, stay regulated, regardless of whatever choice you make and regardless of whatever outcomes come from whichever choice you make, then that's actually the victory. So the victory is in internal consciousness and internal peace and internal self-mastery rather than the situation itself, even though there's been a lot of ideas about there's this project, there's this idea, there's this potential reward, but and it looks like maybe most of the group isn't in a place where they're able to receive the idea that would give you all the material reward that you're working on in the business project. And so only like what if I'm just feeling from the several days of reading here that only one of you guys has figured out whatever the thing is that is going to be able to have that success in the first place, even in the physical plane. And like you're trying to convince them, but they're not in a place where they're able to receive it. So the whole thing is saying like the whole lesson of that situation is even bigger than the project itself. It's saying like for this one person who's a little bit more open, your own consciousness is the reward of it, not the outcome on the material plane. So like your work on consciousness through this topsy-turvy, almost I'm getting like Two of Pentacles energy. Can you maintain your peace? Can you maintain your clarity? Can you make decisions and feel good about them either way? And even if it doesn't work out, are you still peaceful with it? And so that's actually the reward of spirit and of your own inner consciousness. And it looks like it might only be for you. So let's see. It's just, I'm almost wondering like if this is doomed for the rest of the group, like they're just not able to get it. So I wanted to get, and I feel like these cards here are going to confirm about the group. This is group cards. I want to know some more about the group energy. What is the potential from the group? So I embrace again. So there's this energy of reaching out, touching, but embrace what? Heart energy again. A lot of heart energy here. A lot of heart energy here. Like even on this listen card, her crystal. Heart energy here too on Just Breathe. Sacral chakra, yeah, so that's that orange color, and I think I was feeling that too, like with that willpower energy. And it's in reverse. And you know, there's only one person here, and they're over the whole world, and so like this is mastery of consciousness, but maybe not mastery over the physical reality, because the project might not be able to work. It might not be able to manifest like it was possibly able to had the other group been able to cooperate better and tune into the message, but they're just not ready to receive it, so it just can't happen because there's not enough willpower from one person alone to override like 5 people total, because I feel like there's 5 people here, so it's like your one person is against 4 people's of energy, so like it's not, and this flipped over on that was interesting. Holding steady, but like even in the inside, yeah, interesting. This whole situation is an illusion. Win or lose, you can't make that up. This like Ace of Swords in reverse. It's like the whole situation is an illusion. So how you're seeing it, the emotions, the mindset, the potential of the idea, the success of the project working out in the material plane or not, do I make this choice, do I make that choice, the whole thing is an illusion. It's not about the choice, it's not about the outcome, it's not about the project, it's not about the situation, it's not about the material reward, it's about your internal consciousness. It's the only thing that's actually real here. Heart space again, heal. This is some kind of like long-term karmic cycle. I mean, this is a difficult lesson for anyone to learn. Like this is pretty advanced. So I feel like whoever is the person that has been having this idea, who I'm talking to in this reading, they're working on a pretty advanced karmic lesson. So self-compassion and good job. Success and growth in reverse on top of win or lose. Yeah, the whole thing isn't even about the project, although that's what is present. In the physical plane, that's what's present is the project and this idea and the cooperation. It's not working. And should I share the idea? Why won't they listen? Blah, 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 blah. And the whole thing is actually just about the one person who's a little bit more ahead of the curve. It's just about their own internal growth of how do I stay in my own peace regardless and non-attached regardless of the outcome. And regardless of whatever choice I might find appropriate, there's like a total neutrality here. It's like good if I go, good if I leave, but only either way, good if you go or good if you leave, only if you're at peace with that decision, if you are regulated, if you are mastering your own consciousness, if you are seeing a non-attached vision towards it, saying it's okay if this doesn't happen, it's okay if it does, it's okay if I stay and they don't listen, it's okay if I go and they never listen, it's okay if I stay and they do listen, and even if the project comes and it, like, even if the potential was that it does work out, but it was there that, you know, the doubt was there and then it does work out, it's okay even if I had doubt and if the doubt was real, which I think the doubt is real. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's like acceptance, because there's just total neutrality. It's like, how are you going to respond to any of the timeline possibilities here? And so if you can find like a common thread of peace and inner stability and inner calm, regardless of whatever choice you make or other people make or whatever outcomes come or don't come from any of this nonsense, if you can find the internal thread of peace within yourself across all of the timeline possibilities, that is the actual victory of the situation. And that's the real lesson here. Everything else is an illusion. This is a pretty advanced lesson. So I'm speaking to someone here who's probably pretty intuitive and pretty spiritual. And I share the frustration that this person has when people just don't listen. I did write a poem about it, actually. Just feeling like people can't understand things that you know, and then you're like, what's wrong with you people? And like, why am I always so alone? Because I did get that here too, that isolation card. Yeah, scared and isolated. So I wrote a poem. It's called The Priestess Grieves. It's on my website if anyone wants to check it out, but I can recite it because it's short. They stare at me with blank, unseeing faces. Bright flags of rainbow colors I did wave at their masked eyes, but pierce the glowing embers of love the flaming flags did not, their coal eyes of forgetfulness. So I'd be curious to know if that poem resonates with whoever I'm talking to here. So this whole project thing is clarifying because it's falling apart at this point. And so the real lesson for the person who was able to hear spirit a little bit better is now revealing itself more, I think. And I think that person might identify with the poem and with the energy I just shared here and with the whole reading that's coming through in the cards. And if so, you got this girl or you got this guy, go for it inside and, you know, heart space. I'm really feeling that, like a balanced heart, and just whatever happens, if you can hold that peace, it's going to work out. And that is the point. So, yeah, banish the illusion, banish, be gone, be gone, be gone. And I know that's super hard. Because the material plane looks convincing. It's like all that glitters is not gold, and it looks shiny and it looks real. But at the end of the day, like if your lesson is actually like this deep about the inner spirit, then all of the surface stuff here that is all of this illusion is just coming forward like crazy just to distract you and to see how strongly you can actually like believe on your inner principles. Then that's tough. That's tough to actually just be able to like discard all of the nonsense and actually stay to the inner truth of spirit alone. But it does seem like that is the lesson here for the person who I'm talking to. So that's what I have for you today. I'd love to hear if this resonates in the comments. Just, you know, like leave me a comment, follow me for more, save it, share it with your friends, all that good jazz. And yeah, subscribe if you see this on YouTube. Follow me if you see it on Instagram if you want. And let me know how you're feeling about this. And I'd love to know if this actually finds the person it's meant for. So anyways, I'm going to wish you joy and peace and inner stability. Yeah. So I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.